Well, good morning, my friends. Both those of us in the studio and those of you who, like me, find it more comfortable inside during the glisten generating weather we're experiencing. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Chris Marks.
I'm Lee Barris.
I didn't hear you, Chris.
I'm Chris Marks.
There you go. Got to put that radio voice on
Yeah.
talk deep from the diaphragm. And I had to turn the mic up too. Welcome to our lair. Back to the heat. I think somebody lied to us yesterday. It's supposed to be 86 degrees. I got 94 here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had what did I say I had at my house? I had it
69 this morning. But
68 and 96% humidity.
Perhaps those delicate souls who have predicted a climate change in the weather with temperatures in the 90s during July and August, all the result of climate change, they say, brought on by the MAGA-led political leaders in Washington. They were right. After all these record-busting temperatures, a day or two measuring triple digits, haven't been seen around here ever before, right?
oh, never.
We are experiencing a life-altering event, according to members of the 21st Century Reynolds Aluminum Foil Hat Society.
Oh my gosh.
You know how this day is going to go, don't you?
Oh my.
Let me go back in time. Record-breaking temperatures never before seen, right? Not until the arrival of the gas-guzzling cars Americans are so in love with these days. Only problem with that thought process in Wilmington, just down the street here a bit, July 1879. Did you hear the year? 1879. The record high during a heat wave was 103 degrees. In July this year, in another heat wave, the high in Wilmington was 99 degrees. A month earlier in Wilmington, it hit 99 again, while in Jacksonville, the high was 102. 102. No, 102. Over more than 150 years, a stretch there, triple-digit highs were recorded numerous times. The record low for Wilmington was in 1989. Record low ever. Christmas Day at 6 o'clock in the morning, it was 0, officially. In 1899, on Valentine's Day, that would be February 14th, for those heathens among you, the low was 5 degrees. Not a lot of cars were on the roads in 1879, not many in 1899. The population of North Carolina today exceeds 11 million people. In 1879, it was 1,400,000. In 1879, the North Carolina population, in 1899, the North Carolina population was 1,900,000, went from 1,400,000 to 1,900,000 in 20 years. Today's 11 million people, traveling millions of miles across the state, plus those from countless other states, adding millions more miles, generated the same amount of high temperatures as did the 1.4 million North Carolinians did in 1879, riding horses and walking. I'm so glad I could explain why the temperatures today are so much hotter than they were 150 years ago. Questions?
I have no questions.
Why?
I know what the answers are.
That's folks. Climate change, it happens. Doesn't mean it's getting hotter. The ocean temperatures have been up and down
Yes.
for decades and decades and decades.
Yes.
It
I will
happens.
say this has been a long streak for us. I don't remember how far back it's been since we've had such a long streak.
Oh,
of
yes,
hot
we've
weather.
had them. I remember. And
I
when I worked
remember
construction
that.
in the 60s and 70s, we had streaks, days and days.
It's been a while that I just don't remember recently it being so long. Usually you get about a week of it and then it cools down for a while.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're expecting the highs to go back up this weekend.
Well, it cooled down today, last night, overnight. I think it was about
Yes.
12 hours later than they thought it was going to be. Is what happened.
Yes, and I got zero drops
So
of
you're
rain.
over there in the woods up to the north, right?
Yeah, I'm over in Woodlands.
Yeah, Richland's 69. That's
Mhm.
right after we put up a pool yesterday in the heat. I don't know,
What was
maybe-
you thinking, huh?
Who knows?
Our friend Joe from the Amateur Radio Club, Onslow Amateur Radio Club, down in the Swansboro area this morning, it was 73. Had a trace of rain overnight. He said he didn't remember any rain, but rain gauge showed a little bit in the bottom
I
of it.
was due.
Randy over there in Southwest, it said it was 69. Dale over in Riverbend, 69. here up in Richlands, like you say, Back Swamp. Lee's over in the other Lee is in Back Swamp.
Yeah, I got confused too.
Mm-hmm. Lee is in Back Swamp, and he was 69 this morning. Here at the studio, the low was 67 and dropped to 66. What is it now?
Wow.
68.
68 is up to 68.
You're
Blistering
breathing.
degrees.
You're breathing. Brought it up.
Should have wore a thermal shirt today.
Oh no. Woo.
So anyway, thanks to those guys, our weather spotters from the Onslow Amateur Radio Club. They all get
Thank you,
together every
guys.
morning, and we just.
I enjoy
chat
listening to them.
Yeah, you're listening. Sooner or later, you're going to be one of those. Can you imagine?
I've been taking classes
what
and
you're gonna
watching
have to do,
videos. And
because I told them last night you're going to be licensed. You're going to get your ticket.
yeah, I
in
heard.
September.
Was it Bob that said, Lee?
Yeah, that one.
I'm like,
Is that an
why
online
is
course?
it-
I'm sorry.
You can
I'm
take
sorry.
it. You can
Yes.
take the testing. You can get the study guides and stuff online. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not tough. You take the test at the at our club meeting every other month. We've got examiners there,
right.
and we notify people that we're testing that month. And at 10 o'clock after the club meeting, then we test, or they test.
Well, last night I learned about gateways, repeaters, nodes, and things like that, which was interesting to say the least. And that's why I wanted to ask you. I know you have the main repeater over at Emergency Operations Center, right?
That's one of the repeaters.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
That's the
So, do
primary.
you use a gateway for the other repeaters?
We have each one of them is independent.
Okay.
Now there are a couple of repeaters out there. One of the other repeaters that one of the club members owns. There are people that actually get on there. I forgot what nights it is because I've accidentally heard them when they're talking, and they're scattered all over the United States.
Yes.
They
I learned
work
all
through
that.
the gateway stuff.
I learned all that. So that's where I'm at right now. I started doing with the questions and trying to learn the answers, but I went back to these videos now that actually they have classes online
Right.
and they explain everything. So we're starting with,
When you get all
hot
the
spots and
when you get all
repeaters
the
and
explanations done, and you kind of understand it, then you go
Right.
take those sample tests
right.
that are on the QRZ.com page, QRZ.com page.
Yes. Anyway, it's becoming more interesting now that I'm understanding what's going on. So
Yeah,
So you're getting the technical part right now.
you have to know the technical
Yeah.
part.
not
and that's
a
what's
lot.
crazy.
It's not a lot in the technical part, in the technician class license, okay? You don't have to get down and figure, are there any Ohm's law questions that you've run across? In the
Oh, there's
technician?
you believe the questions, and I'm like this. I'm taking the beginner course. Why do I have to know about the differentiation between an electrical blah 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 compared to a diode and an I'm just like, what? But
Well,
I'm learning.
I'm
I'm
going to give
learning.
you a couple of things here. You say,
Okay.
why do I have to? One, in the television news business, people would always ask, why is that a story? Because the assignment editor said it is. That's number one.
You're not helping, Rayford.
When the drill sergeant says, do this, why do this? Because the drill instructor said, yes, do this.
I'm going to bring you in some of these questions.
I got all those questions.
Oh, and Tom wants to know, do you still have to know Morse code to get a
you
ham
do
license?
not. Morse
No,
code
you
is
do not, Tom.
no longer since I think 2010-ish, something like that. They did away with the requirement. I
Right.
I like Morse code. I don't use it. I'm waiting to try to find my old key. I can't find it. The Morse code key. I'm going to buy another one. You got to buy a new one cheaper than I can buy one of the old originals.
I'm not learning Morse code.
Well, it's good to know just in case,
Mhm. Okay.
out there.
I'll be like, just no. Learning this other stuff is enough.
That's the drums. Those are the drums in the woods or the jungle. That's
Speaking
that's not Morse
of
code.
drums,
What?
Chris, yesterday we lost an icon in the music world.
Ozzy
Ozzy
Osbourne, the old bat head eater guy.
What?
Metalhead.
The bat head eater.
So when he was the lead for Black Sabbath and they were on concert and stuff, he would bite off the head of a bat on stage.
Why?
He was definitely different.
He was out there. He was out there.
People loved him.
Anything in invigorating substance arena, do you think?
Yes, he you know,
I'm just asking for a
his
friend.
later years, he finally came. He said he quit the drugs, the alcohol,
Yeah.
the cigarettes. But the man was plagued with a lot of health issues, mainly
Parkinson's, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he lived a long life, 76, for all he'd been through.
Yeah, and had Sharon Osbourne, his wife, and his kids
Love
got
her.
a little bit into the entertainment business, but he was an interesting individual, if you'd like.
He's weird.
Okay.
Well, you have to like that type of music
Yeah.
too.
No.
But and I do within certain aspects. You know, would I go to a concert? No. But there's a lot of metal that I do like.
Yeah.
But I'm not what you would call a headbanger by
No,
far. But I liked Ozzy, and their reality show was really good. It was cute. Yeah, I like the reality
I'm glad I
show.
didn't catch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
This
he
one,
was most famous in the 70s, Rayford. You
Yeah.
were already past the headbanging age.
I was never into any of that. I was not a follower. I was not a trend person.
Well, now I liked all kinds of music. I didn't trend just heavy metal. I didn't get into heavy metal till way later in life, way later.
my first was classical music,
I love classical. It's my favorite.
and then I went on to being in radio, all the other genres
Right.
and stuff. So, but yeah, Ozzy was a little
La
there.
La Land.
okay.
But look, he made his fortune and fame.
But
He was
what-
inducted in the Hall of Fame, Rock
But
and Roll
he
Hall
didn't remember
twice.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the one speech he gave, and it was like that story that we tried to read yesterday and had to keep bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yep.
Hey,
I understand that.
but the sad thing is, if people believe in it always happens in threes. Malcolm Jamal
Yes,
Warner, now
Right.
Ozzy
So sad.
Osbourne. So today, other than the young
Check
man
my heart
yesterday,
rate.
yeah,
I'm
okay,
good.
yeah, you all right?
So far, I'm good.
Okay, Rayford said, okay,
83.
I'm
Oh,
good.
yeah.
okay, everybody's
right.
good.
Yeah, I know it does. And Malcolm Warner, I remember him recently doing stints on 911.
Yep.
On that, because I love that show. And then on The Resident, he was on there before as a doctor. Great actor.
We had tragedy yesterday here at Onslow.
Yes, we did.
I put off reading this, and Chris has got more information, some of the backstory about the young individual tragedy yesterday. About 10:30 in the morning, teenager was killed in a head-on crash. 18-year-old Jacob Smith, listed as a Jacksonville resident, died in that wreck. The Highway Patrol report shows Smith was driving on the Pony Farm Road near Fire Tower Road, crossed the center line into the oncoming lane and collided with an oncoming vehicle. He was alone in his car. He was declared dead at the scene. He was operating a Dodge Van Ram. The second vehicle, apparently a Jones Onslow EMC bucket truck, was
Yes,
it?
bucket truck.
And two men in the truck.
Mhm.
And one of those was not injured significantly, correct?
Right, the driver was not.
He was fine. The passenger went to the hospital for treatment and had some stitches and treated and released.
Yes.
This young man, if you're a sports guy you follow a certain school,
Southwest Stallions.
yep,
Yeah.
he was, and he was 18 years old, but he turned 18 2 days before his death.
On Sunday.
So sad.
It was very sad. Jacob was a wonderful linebacker, and also played baseball. He played baseball for the Stallions. He played in
Wow.
travel league
Mhm.
baseball with my great nephew, who is actually he's a volunteer fire department with Rhodestown Fire Department, who responded to the accident.
Oh, boy.
So he
It's terrible.
actually walked up on it. The driver of the bucket truck did everything he could. He tried to run his bucket truck into a ditch to avoid the car, but it was an accident. Happened a quarter of a mile from Jacob's home.
Oh, God.
Quarter of a mile from the home. And so anybody wanting to help the folks out in Southwest who are very quick, and they're very quick.
Our town.
Our town, yeah. To help, they've using Venmo, Pay, and Apple Pay. If you'd like to donate some funds or meals,
Meal train.
Yeah, mail train. I got that right. Yeah.
Very good.
Contact Crystal Crow at 910-340-2151.
You might want to put that down for our listeners.
Yeah, I was going to tell Chris, once you get the information on the GoFundMe, the Venmo, or whatever, and verify the validity of it, because there's going to be other people that are trying to hop in on it. But once you do all that, send it to me, and I will post it on our page for those that would like to contribute.
So if you guys want to wait until then, we'll get it up there. The official one that is verified, guaranteed.
Right.
Just a little tidbit to the story. So his number was 44 with the Stallions. This was his last year. He graduated. My great nephew was going to, or grandnephew was going to. He actually had the uniform.
Oh, really?
Jacob had already given Logan his uniform and said, "You're going to wear this." His father said, "I want you to wear this uniform because you're going to play." I won't use the language, but it was within sports language, and you're going to be just as good, if not better, than Jacob in that position. He gave the uniform back last night. He gave the uniform back to the father last night and said they hope that they retire it out of Southwest, which they probably will. It was a tragic story.
Very tragic.
Losing anyone is awful. Losing someone just on the threshold of entering adulthood, moving forward. Day after his 18th birthday, just graduated from high school.
Yep. Survived by his parents and three sisters.
Two younger sisters, one older sister.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Well, I know some girls that are going to be lost.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, on behalf of all of us here, our condolences, our sympathy, and whatever we can do to help, the family, the community during this time of loss, we're here for you.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of weather coming back.
Right.
I picked up an NCIS warning last night.
Yes, I saw that. Talk about that.
I read this. I said, "Oh, crap."
That's what I said. Oh, crap.
Yeah. So anyway,
all three of us said, "Oh crap."
There was a whole bunch of it floating around. A marine forecast today, heading for the high seas for a little fun fishing today. You can expect easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet, except 2 to 3 near shore. Pretty sure the Spanish mackerel are hanging pretty close to shore, and if I was going, that's probably what I'd be doing today instead of risking any naughty stuff out there. Sounds and rivers choppy. It's July. Be prepared for showers and thunderstorms. No guarantees either way. Tomorrow, southerly winds around 10 knots, seas 2 to 4 coming down. The winds coming down too, and they will be apart by 8 seconds. 8 seconds apart. That's
flat.
Fairly flat. Sounds and rivers are light chop. Friday, westerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. A little closer together every 5 seconds, and sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
Partly sunny today with a high near 89. A slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. The east wind 6 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 23. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 73. Thursday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 88. And Friday, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, sunny with a high near 95. And I don't know who made Mother Nature so hot.
Well, someone did, because Saturday and Sunday she's getting hotter.
Because this woman is hot. We need her to cool down.
Oh, okay.
Heat indexes over the weekend back in the hundreds.
Double digits.
Yeah.
So, watch them out, y'all. Watch them out.
Sorry.
Okay, this was posted originally on LinkedIn yesterday by the NCIS, National Naval Criminal Investigative Service. I always get NCIC and NCIS.
Yeah.
They confuse me. Ever since I dropped and went from NIS to NCIS, I still get confused. It's only been 30 years.
Well, I learned by watching the show.
I knew it. I knew it.
The NCIS is warning that children in Navy and Marine Corps families are being targeted by online networks promoting racially or ethnically motivated extremism and child sexual abuse material. These groups exploit social media, gaming platforms, and vulnerabilities in youth. That'll be in the gangs as well. Sextortion is a form of child sexual exploitation where children are threatened or blackmailed, most often with the possibility of sharing with the public nude or sexual images of themselves by a person who demands additional sexual content, sexual activity, or money from the child. Children,
Goodness.
all of y'all, don't be stupid. Your boyfriend says, just send me a naked picture of you, okay? I won't share it with anybody. You can trust me. You can trust me. Trust me. Run.
I got a don't.
When they say that, just start running. They will share it. If nothing else, just for their own jollies amongst their peers. And their peers are so far down in the dumps that, they're pretty much the same thing. Low life. The crime may happen when a child has shared any image with someone they thought they knew or trusted. This is according to the NCIS. In many cases, they're targeted by an individual they met online who obtained a sexual image from the child through deceit, coercion, or some other method. Oh, I didn't see any harm in it. In many cases, the blackmailers may have stolen or taken images of another person, and they're communicating through a fake account. A fake account. A fake account. Go figure. The blackmailer may have sent images as well to the child. May not be of himself or another female. It may be from some other site. This blackmailer may not even have any connection with this other site. This blackmailer may be sending a naked picture of what he says is himself, and you feel safe. Wrong. They don't have pictures. They don't have email addresses that you can trace. They are scum. Yep. And they hide in the basement. And then there are some that are just for their own kicks, will buy these images from these low-life individuals. It's easier than going out and taking pictures if you can just get people to send you pictures. Don't do it. Victims tend to be targeted for their minority status, such as sexual orientation. Right. That's one thing that a male or a female, they don't want to get out, let the public know that I am of certain persuasion that is not what other people consider the norm. And then they will confide in somebody who says, I'm the same way. Oh, you just screwed up. Don't do it. If you have done it, you can stop it. You need to seek assistance. If you're concerned that your parents are going to explode beyond belief, then go see your priest, your minister. Go see those guys down there at the police department or the sheriff's office, wherever you live. Go to them, explain to them. They have units that do nothing but this kind of investigations. They're experts in it.
We actually have SVU units.
We do.
We
have
law
that,
enforcement here.
But we have internet.
Oh, yeah.
Internet units. That's all they do is they sit around and look for these kinds of things, okay? That's how NCIS knows about it.
Communicate with them.
And if you're the son, daughter of a military person around here, we think of the Marines and the Navy, they'll use that as a threat. I'm going to show this to your daddy, CO. Understand? You hadn't thought of that one, had you? I'm going to show you a picture unless you continue supplying me with pictures or we get together.
You just have to understand pictures are forever, just like cameras. Everywhere you go, there's cameras.
Yeah, there are.
You can go to the Circle K on the corner, there's cameras. You can go to the grocery store, there's cameras. There are cameras out here at our major intersections that the EOC monitors. There's cameras everywhere. There's cameras in front of people's homes.
There's cameras at the teller two machines people use.
Yes.
Got a lot of them around my home.
Yes, a lot of them around here. I mean, I
You
can
on
sit
my
here
street, you
right
belong to
now
me, Bubba.
and go into an app and look at everything about my house right now. There's cameras everywhere.
They're actually at the grocery store for those people that check themselves out,
Oh yeah.
which I do.
Yes,
And if
I do too.
something happens and you have to get help from
Mhm.
somebody, and you're watching them doing it, there's a picture of you.
Right.
Because as Theo said, I caught the glare off the back of my head on one of them.
Well,
Why
I
don't you just
carry
paint a couple eyes back there?
I carry these
I'm just like Mom.
I carry these reusable like baskets. You know,
Yeah.
they fold up flat and then you unfold them, and that's what I use to put my groceries in.
And your radios.
And yes, and I use it for a lot of things, as you've seen. But you know, when you pick an empty basket up out of the cart and you come across the camera screen to lay it down over here to put your groceries in, sometimes it'll set the camera off, and the camera's thinking that you took grocery items out and you bypass scanning them, and I have to call for help. But you know, they're usually standing right there anyway
Yeah.
because they're like, you know, watching you anyway.
Mhm.
But which I don't care.
Well, they've had a lot of theft, we'll call, with these automatic
Yes.
checkout things.
Yes.
And I would love for somebody, come on, you investigative reporters. I've thought about it a number of times because the prices keep going up and
Right.
up and up and up. And I would wonder if the stores that have all these automatic checkouts, as compared to those that do not have the automatic checkouts, if the prices at the automatic checkout stores are higher than the prices for the same thing at the non-automatic checkout stores. Ding.
I can answer that.
Okay.
What?
I can answer that.
I'm waiting.
Are you paying service charges for an actual cashier?
No,
to
you're
handle
paying
them?
for the theft that's gotten through.
Oh, yeah. well, we know
For that, yes. But
Ridiculous.
there is a chain that's here in Jacksonville. They don't use bags. They charge you 25 cents to use a
Yeah.
cart, and you get it back when you give the cart back
I
into the
know
thing,
it's-
which is
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
because it saves on the dings on the cars and things
Right.
like that. But I went to one the other day just because I was going by that way. And yeah, there was about $1.50 difference in the strawberries. They're
What?
good strawberries. $1.50
So,
difference in
what do you
strawberries.
take
Higher
it
or
through?
lower?
Lower.
Will you take it through a cashier? Is it higher, or is it higher going through a self checkout? Is that what
Well,
you're saying?
I think it all adds
No,
up. That's
I'm
what
sorry.
he's saying with
So-
all this other stuff.
Yeah, with all this other stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, this girl, she had me checked out, and I was like, no, those are my my two items, not his. She goes, oh, I'm already done with him. They're like, the cashier.
Yes, yes.
She puts it in the basket, then you go and you bag your own stuff.
Right. I know where you're talking
Okay,
about.
you know what I'm
Yes,
talking
yes,
about.
Yes.
But the other stores, yeah, I've noticed that the prices are higher on things that have nothing to do with what everybody has been saying about the tariffs and stuff. Has nothing
Right.
to do with
Oh
it.
yeah.
It's just the increases. I fired myself from one of the grocery
I
stores.
took a break and went back during
Understand.
Walmart's break room and had some coffee. Figured
Well,
I was entitled
if I
to
do
it.
all the checkout, I just say, when do I pick up my check? My
I just
paycheck?
wear the blue vest. I put on the blue vest before I check out.
You check out other people too, don't you? Okay, but this back to the exploitation, whatever. It tends to
Right.
be females between the ages of 5 and 17.
Ooh.
Children of military families are particularly vulnerable
I'm changing my
because their frequent moves tend to leave them more socially isolated than their civilian peers. If you move every 2-3 years, you don't have the same social friendship arrangements at your new place as you had before. So you're trying to make friends by sending naked pictures or whatever.
I don't know if this is a question to wait for Dr. Rose, but I'm trying to figure out 5-year-olds. Who's taking pictures of 5-year-olds and sending them?
There's creeps out there. There are
I
creeps.
go back to the 1980s on one that I will share with you, but I have to do it. I cannot do it on mic.
Okay.
Because it was that, and this involves CB radio.
Oh my
on
gosh.
one of my travels.
CB.
And it took me an extra 3 hours to get to Charlotte.
Speaking of Dr. Rose, I have a question for her when it comes time.
I have a couple.
We have a question for
her.
Dr.
Yes,
Dr.
I do.
Rose.
I have a couple of questions.
No, I always try to find something that I know that is going to be of great interest to the listeners.
Oh, okay, good.
Mine will
Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Rose.
Good morning, Dr.
Good
Rose.
morning, everybody.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I hope you are.
I'm doing great. It's 69 degrees here outside the studios. How is it where you are?
Hot.
I think it's about the same.
Okay.
It was a very pretty evening. It went down to like in the mid to low 70s,
Oh, wow.
right around 9 or 10 o'clock. So it was very nice.
Well, early this morning at 5:30, it was 66 degrees in here in the backyard of the studio.
Yeah, snowball fight.
Yeah, pretty close. About froze to death.
Sure. Dr. Rose, I have a question for you. This pertains to adolescent skincare. What is your advice for our young children on taking care of their skin?
Just
Well,
on a regular basis,
yeah.
just daily
Yeah,
basis.
like mainly facial, because as they get older, they
Yeah.
go through the acne and stuff like
The
that.
wrinkles.
So, what's a good habit to wrinkles? That's for late, and Rayford. What's good advice to give our children so they can get it into their system, their memory, and get into the habits of taking good care of your skin? And I'm talking mainly like facial skin.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very important to adolescents because there's so much about how they look and how they present themselves, and they certainly don't want blemishes to be the focal point of their face. Now, that being said, sometimes there is nothing that you can do to prevent acne and blemishes from coming out, but good skincare goes a long way. So the whole thing is really about mostly prevention. And kids should be aware of the fact that they need to wash their face with a non-abrasive soap. And we'll get into the names of them twice a day. And you would not believe the number of kids that don't brush their teeth and they don't
What?
wash their face.
What?
They only wash their face once they have a
Really?
face full of acne, and then they want to get rid of it. And that's just not the way to do it. Good skin requires good skin care way before the blemishes come out. And after you wash your face, it can be something like Neutrogena has some good products for acne prevention. CeraVe does as well. But there are a whole bunch of them, and they don't need to cost a ton. Just somewhere around $15, and you need to do that in the morning and at night. And afterwards, pat your skin dry. Don't rub it all dry, thinking, if I rub it, it'll be better. Actually, the skin will get more irritated and more prone to blemishes, whether it's acne or not. But sort of pat your skin dry, or let it air dry just a little bit, and then just make sure that you use a non-oily moisturizer. Also, if you go outside and it's warm and it's sunny, make sure that you put on some sun protectant. Once again, Neutrogena, CeraVe, and believe me, I don't have any stock in any of those. It's just that my patients use it and they come back looking very, very nice. So those two tend to make good skincare products for teenagers. And so a little bit, just a tad of moisturizing cream, and that just makes a barrier between the environment and the skin, and makes the skin, look healthy and glowy, and take it from there. That's everyday skincare right there, and without trying to treat anything. But you all would be surprised at how little kids invest into their skin until they have a problem. And then there are some foods and each person needs to be aware of what is a trigger for that. There are foods that can trigger some acne. Sometimes very fatty foods, some foods that you might be a little allergic to, and some kids, no matter what you do, you're going to get blemishes, you're going to get acne, but you should still take good care of your skin and do not pinch. Every pinch that you have is a mark that you're leaving on your skin. I tell teenagers, keep your fingernails off of your skin, especially when you're a teenager and you're getting a lot of acne. The more that you pop it at any of those pimples, the more that you have a risk towards leaving a scar on your face.
Okay. Does sandpaper work?
What? Hopefully we'll stay away from the sandpaper.
No sandpaper, no steel wool either, I guess, right?
No, not a good idea.
Why is it that people who invent medications come up with these various drugs and all that sort of good stuff, and they come up with names that neither you nor I can, well, I'm sure you can, because you studied that Latin crap, right?
The names that are coming up now have nothing to do with Latin.
Oh, okay.
They're mixing up their name, their wife's name, the children's name into one thing, and it's like, what is that? So no. 20 years ago, it used to be based on something, but I don't find that. Sometimes I just laugh. I watch the TV and they're giving us some commercial on something, and I just have to laugh at these names.
Yeah, I got you. Do you have a pencil and paper in front of you?
Sure.
Okay. This is, I'm gonna spell it: TRIA. MCINOLONE.
It's triamcinolone, but that's an old one. Yeah. That's not new at all.
I don't know. It's old. I just can't pronounce it. And then there's
triamcinolone.
And then it's got some acetonide beside it. Acetonide. Did I do that?
You need to say the triamcinolone.
Okay. Anyway, my dermatologist gave me this because I got a little bit of a rash thing on my back and it itches all the time. And she said, "Don't scratch it." Now Lee's scratching her face because it's
every
itching.
time.
But it's work. But it says you can only use it for 14 days, twice a day. And I got a tub of it,
That's
and
right.
so I got 2 more.
Is it steroids in it?
Apparently, it's got steroids in it.
Uh-huh.
It's a mid-strength steroid.
Why can't I use it more than 14 days? Because this stuff is still itching and it's still there, and today's day 14. Yes, I'll call her and ask, but
no problem at all. Actually, I recommend it for a little bit less than that, because if you're on day 14 and it's still itching, it might not be eczema or irritation. It might be a fungus in there as well, and it's not going to get better. Okay. Actually, by putting a steroid on a fungus, you make the fungus a little stronger.
Great.
Well, see, I'm glad you said that, because I had a rash on the bottom of my foot, on just one foot. And they're trying to tell me it was eczema. And so she gave me one cream that's got steroids in it to use for 14 days. And then after those 2 weeks, I turn around and use a different cream for 2 weeks, and then I repeat. But you know what, Dr. Rose? I found the best thing for the rash on my foot, which is healing nicely, is like Vicks Vapor Rub.
What?
Yes, Vicks Vapor Rub. They say that it's an old wives' tale, and I tried it, but it has cleared my rash up faster than those 2 other creams, and I was worried about using the steroid cream so much. I mean, what if I grew another foot or something?
Okay.
I mean,
What you mean?
Mr. Rayford, if you want to pick something up that's an antifungal, pick up good old Lotrimin.
Yes, I use
over
it
the counter, and you can put it on with the cream. And if there's a little bit of fungus in there, it'll take care of it.
Okay.
So,
it's probably
I'll just share a story about Vicks Vapor Rub.
Okay.
Okay, so we went. So Rayford, you had your back, right? And Lee, you had the face.
Yeah.
So Dr. Rose, this is Chris. I've got one for you. I just got to throw at you.
Oh,
okay.
Careful.
It's. So I had poison ivy.
Ooh.
I look at it and I get it.
Anyway, Robbie.
So I used the usual stuff. And then I tried something that I read that was interesting. Salt water. from the ocean.
Yes.
And pouring that on there, Dr. Rose, maybe it's a myth, maybe it was in my head.
It's not.
But have you ever heard that salt water would help dry up?
No, I've never heard
Okay.
that, but that's a good thing to know.
And
Yes, it did, because it did it.
vinegar baths too, I hear, is very good if you have foot fungus of any
A lot of
kind.
vinegar.
Well, it was on my
Wow.
arm.
Well, I want to get back to the vapor rub, what she's got to say about that, because I may be doing something wrong.
Well, you're still itching.
Because every time she comes on, we have to talk about itching. And it makes me itch.
You are right. Well, when I was growing up, Hispanics love vapor rub, but they don't call it vapor rub because they pronounce it just like it looks in Spanish, which they say "beep oh
my God.
Family,
Do that one more time.
beep
Beep,
They love this thing.
I can't do it.
could be having any ailment. They would slather that thing on me, and it just irritated me as a kid. That jar would come out
She was a,
all the time. They thought that it would cure cancer.
she was a vapor baby.
You know,
I was.
it's a great thing for in case you have burglars. If you will rub that stuff on your doorknob, they'll never be able to get it open.
God almighty, Jesus.
All I know is this, you know,
Oh, my God.
you just got through saying that whenever we talked to Dr. Rose, there's an itching problem. All three of our issues today had to do with itching.
God.
Salt water, though, I'm going to just give you a personal observation. You know, up until the last couple of years, I would take at least 2 weeks, as often as I could, 3 weeks in the Caribbean. And I was diving multiple times a day. You know,
Right.
one trip was 3 weeks, 19 days in the water, 49 dives. So that's a lot of time in salt water. I never had any of those itchings or anything else that I have here. First of all, I'm naked most of the time, you know, virtually. But you get
Oh,
wet,
so naked,
you come out, and you've been soaking for an hour, at least an hour at a time in salt water. Come out, you'll rinse off in fresh water, and you go on about your business. And, you know, you just felt clean. And I did not have itching.
Well, I Googled it while I was at the beach because it was bothering me. I went and filled up 2 bottles and took it home and poured it on my arm for a couple of days. Next thing I know, it's dried up.
Right.
Then yesterday, weird. Well, maybe, but Kathy then tried.
No, I'll use it if you happen to be at the beach. Go ahead and.
I will send
I'm
you.
wondering if it's the salt water.
It's salt. It's the
Yes.
salt. That's what it is. Yeah, salt's great.
Yeah, you're right, though, because anytime I go out in the water and spend time out there, it just seems to heal whatever I have on my
It
skin.
does.
I think it's very, like all these ant bites that are still healing. I need to go sit in the ocean for about a week.
You ever seen any ants in the ocean? There's
No,
your
but
clue.
it'll help my skin.
It does.
So, okay, so we've gone from Vicks vapor rub on feet
To salt water.
to salt water to Dr. Rose being a vapor baby.
Not a vape baby, a vapor.
A
baby.
vapor.
We got that part. There's a
Yeah.
big difference.
Yes.
Okay, now we're down to 4 weeks, about 4 weeks or so. Then school time, school. What is that thing? School bell, school. What is that little rhyme?
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yeah.
Round and round, round and
Okay, whatever.
That's the only one I know.
The last 4 weeks here, what is the schedule for parents to put their kids through to get them ready?
Well, I think that you make a great point that this is the time to start.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that their sleep schedules are on time. Lots of kids are going to sleep at 10, 11, 12. It's hard to adjust suddenly to waking up and going to sleep early. So this is a good time to change that. The fact that they don't have any routines or schedules, that needs to be changed as well.
Right.
And this is a good time. But try to plan in the next few weeks some family time, maybe going somewhere that they have to pay attention and ask some questions. We have so many wonderful historic places around the state, and especially at the coast. You have myriad of museums and aviation museums and New Bern, and we do not lack for places to go to fill little kids' minds with good stuff. Plan some. It's a great idea to plan something like that in these next few weeks,
Nice.
especially with the heat. Even a lot of these places you'll be inside. But then make sure that afterwards you ask a series of questions. If you have more than one or two kids, you ask the questions, and whoever answers the most, that's the one that wins the extra ice cream or gets to pick where you're going afterwards. Just so that they're paying attention and they're answering the questions in a good way, so that you're motivating the kids. But these are all things that start getting the child ready for going back to school.
There's shots that parents need to start thinking about for their children to start entering school.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, before they start kindergarten, they need their 4-year shots. We call them 4-year shots, because most of the kids get them when they turn 4. But some parents may be delaying them, so make sure that you're up to date on those before you start kindergarten. But now the state is requiring a vaccine before they start the 7th grade, and that's the tetanus.
Oh.
And then a vaccine before they start the other one was the 6th grade. I'm sorry. And then for the 7th grade, they need to have the meningitis vaccine.
Oh.
And there's one last meningitis vaccine before they get into their junior year of high school. So, and you can Google, anybody can Google this, what vaccines do you need before you get into X grade, so that you make sure that you're not one of those parents that gets the kids thrown out of school, because after 4 weeks, they will give you a hard time and they may not let your child back in to school if you do not have those immunizations.
That's good to know. Good to know.
Got a historical question you can ask. We all think we know where the first capital of North Carolina was. Certainly wasn't Raleigh. Where was it?
No, it wasn't Raleigh.
Was it New Bern?
Alamance?
I'm gonna go with
I
New Bern.
believe that was correct. It was New Bern.
That was the second. That was the first official capital. The
Oh,
first capital.
really?
The first capital.
Bath.
The 1722 Assembly selected Edenton
Yep.
as the capital.
Edenton, that's right.
Yeah, they never had any
Very
government
nice.
houses. The governor of North Carolina had to stay in his own house and all sorts of stuff like that. Yep.
It said
They-
first capital of North Carolina was Bath, serving from 1705 to 1722. It was later followed by Edenton.
That got here's
I don't know,
the
Raven.
first one. Yep.
Yeah, I
This-
love Edenton.
And anyway, they met in private homes. The legislature did what there was of it, and so it was
neat.
it was interesting. I just heard this the other day. I just learned that. I always went with the
Wow.
official Newbern. And
Yes, absolutely.
so anyway,
Very nice.
there's a little trivia for your students when
Very
you start
good.
asking them questions.
Interesting.
And if you guys want to get a whole lot of stuff, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube today about North Carolina.
Yes.
There are a lot of programs, and one of the coolest ones, you will like it, Chris. Black and white images shot by a guy named Herbert, I forgot the middle name, Herbert Lee Waters, in the 1936 era, 36, 37 through about 42. He went all over cities, all over North Carolina, shot video, 16 millimeter, shot film. I think it was 35 millimeter film because that black and white looked great. But then he had it colorized. A special team did it. And it's just silent film, but they've just added background noise to it. That's all it does. It plays.
Wow.
It's got scenes. It's got cars. It's on YouTube. Just put North Carolina 1930s.
Interesting.
I saw that yesterday. Robbie and I both watched it. I watched it, part of it, and I
Oh.
started it again so she could watch it. And the Battleship North Carolina Memorial, when the Battleship North Carolina was actually in war,
Mhm.
there's a whole program on that.
Wow.
Real footage. And now, if you want something, get somebody to watch that and then go tour the Battleship North Carolina Memorial in Wilmington. I got to go back to the memorial now and see it since I've watched this. And I've watched it twice.
Yeah, I'm going to go see it.
This stuff is good. So if you want to educate your kids, don't wait till you're 77 like me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff out there we did not have available.
You're right.
So
Very nice.
I'm in my third child,
I like it.
fifth childhood. Dr. Rose, you're a wealth of knowledge, and we do appreciate you're well-rounded enough to not just talk doctor, but it's for the kids. I
Right.
think what we're talking about and what you're talking about in the work that you do is for the kids' well-being, mental well-being as much as physical well-being.
That's right. It's to be able to talk to kids, you got to know stuff. You got to keep it interesting. So if you have children in your life, whether they're yours, your grandchildren, or just the neighbor that that comes over your house once in a while, make sure that you know stuff and you can throw out trivia. Kids love trivia.
Oh, they do.
Tell them something that's interesting like that, and they keep that information. So that's good. Keep it going.
I guarantee if I ask 10 kids and they and from North Carolina and they all say Newbern because that's what we studied in school, and I'm telling them, look it up, here are the facts, and they're going to go look it up, and then when they get to school, they're going to impress somebody.
There they are.
It's going to be a
Yes, they
teacher
are.
who's going to
It's
get
gonna be the
shocked
teacher.
that she
Yeah.
didn't know that or he didn't know that. So that's what it's all about. Don't do it as a smart aleck, but just do it.
Yeah.
I used to do it as a smart aleck. My teacher didn't like me. He tried to kick me out of class in
He
physics.
still does, but okay.
Oh well, he wasn't big
There
enough.
was a special corner in your name.
He tried. Dr. Rose, thank you. We will see you next week.
Talk to you next week.
All
You
right.
guys
Take
all
care.
have a wonderful
Thank you.
weekend.
You too.
You do the
It's going to
same.
get hot again. Stay cool. Stay chilled. Stay hydrated. Bye.
Bye bye.
910-333-0139 if you want to talk about anything.
Want to join the mayhem? Join us.
I
I just posted, I found a great, excuse me, website for North Carolina history. It's NCpedia. And it
Oh,
goes
that's pretty
into,
cool.
yeah, now you've got me started on this. It's
I'll tell you
pretty
why
cool.
North Carolina history is, and some of the folks who have done some of the documentaries about North Carolina, they say it's one of the best states in the country, voted best several times, best financial state, and we have that Charlotte base of
Right.
money.
Yeah, it's the reason why it was different cities at the time is because they considered the capital wherever the governor was living.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Very interesting.
Who do we have?
That's Charlie.
We got Charles. Good morning, Charlie. What's up?
Hey, Charlie.
Hi,
So I
Charlie.
was listening to the doctor earlier,
Mhm.
and I was told 20 years ago that I had very high blood pressure. I was told that I had very high cholesterol. I was told that all these things are going to pretty much, they're going to destroy my life. And I'm like, you know what? I think I know how my body works. Sometimes my body gets weak. Sometimes my body is strong. They told me that I need to take all these drugs. Guess how many drugs is it took or taken?
I mean, you took.
Are you taking them on a regular basis now? Do you by prescriptions?
No. I'm saying, what's the correct word? Do you take drugs, or have you took drugs?
You take them if you take them like right now, you're going to take your drugs. But if you took
I
them an
never
hour
took
ago, you took them. You took.
I never took one.
Wow.
Never took one. I actually went to a medical marijuana doctor because I was under horrendous stress. And I said, I think it will relax me. The medical marijuana doctor said, listen, I'm not legally allowed to prescribe this to you because of how your blood pressure is, but I'm going to give you this. They gave it to me. I've never taken one drug, ever. I've never taken any of these pills. I'm just curious. So do you guys take blood pressure medication? Do you take cholesterol medication? Do you take these pills?
I don't take anything.
Lee does not.
I take zinc.
You take what?
Zinc.
In a wire form or what?
No, I take 4 zinc pills a day.
Mhm.
And
What, I don't know. What does zinc do to you? What happens when one is lacking zinc in their body? What does zinc do for you?
zinc goes back to
Don't say COVID.
no, not COVID, but back to India. No, I'm not talking about Indians with the feathers and stuff like
You're
that.
talking about
Aztec Indians.
Oh, those in.
Aztec Indians, and they would take the copper and attach it to their parts of their bodies. It just helps your immune system.
Hey, I'm not sure if you guys have talked about this, and I'm not sure exactly. I don't want to state misfacts. It turns out Pfizer or Johnson and Johnson. Turns out that they knew that their drug wasn't as great as they thought it was, and I think they've settled 39 lawsuits with people that have suffered horrific responses to the drug. It turns out there's tens of thousands of people. Now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you guys took it during COVID, and it's your own personal thing. But did you guys take the shots?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I did, yes.
Yep.
Did you guys have anybody in your loved ones or neighbors or family members that took the shots and within like 4 or 5 months they suffered horrific
Nope.
Did not.
condition?
Have not.
death?
No.
I haven't even known anybody that did.
So if you had to do it all over again, if the whole COVID thing came back right now tomorrow, would you take the shots again?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. You guys have a good day.
You
Thank
too.
for my call.
Thanks, Charlie. Good
And once
question.
again, I want to say it is a personal decision.
It is.
If I want to take the shot, and I do not appreciate people coming at me saying, you're going to die, or you're going to mess up your heart, or you're stupid for doing it. It is personal choice, just like it's your personal choice not to take it, which I respect.
Right.
But people have got to get over this demeaning people for taking it. I mean,
Yeah.
I went through the whole thing. I had COVID once. All I had was a slight headache. I wouldn't have even known I had it, except because I come in here, and especially with Kelly, out of respect for her, I tested, found out I had it. Didn't even know it. But
Well, the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, the whole-
I do not know how. I do know how serious and critical it was because a lot of people died.
I had some friends die from it.
I mean, we had people around here that we all knew.
Mhm.
They died. I have a lot more people around here that I know who did not die.
Right. Yes.
In the beginning stages, I mean, when
We
COVID
didn't
first came out, Lord of mercy.
We didn't know.
On a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening,
Right.
I said, well, because we had the thermometer, just in case.
Mhm.
Yeah, they didn't have any vaccinations at the time.
Right.
And I said, my temperature, and then I'm like, okay. It said, my temperature don't know runs 96 point something
Mhm.
instead of 98.6.
Yeah, I'm right there
So
with you.
I said, well, that's a little elevated. It was 96 point something. I said, but it's still up kind of normal. And an hour later, it was up 2 or 3 tenths of a degree. And then an hour later, so as the evening wore on, the temperature was climbing. It got to 2 o'clock in the morning, it was 101. I called in and I said, I will not be in tomorrow. So y'all, it's all on y'all. And that was at the other place. So they took care of it. And that was 2 o'clock in the morning. At 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, because I couldn't sleep, I took my temperature again. It was back down to 96 point something.
Were you freaking out?
I said crap, and amongst other things. But anyway, out of precaution, the next day,
Excuse me.
next morning, I hauled my butt over there to the place that everybody went to because they tested it right there.
Right.
I stood there and got my nose prodded with somebody with a drill bit. A 5/8 drill bit went up there and
Yeah.
both sides. Came back, go sit in your car, and I did. You got it. I said, okay, what do I do now? What's my temperature? Well, you don't have one. Okay, so your snot test says I got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat in the truck while I was waiting for the results, and they came back and confirmed it. And I said, okay, I'll go home, right? Yep. And you keep an eye on your temperature. Well, it never went up. I came home, I ate because I was hungry. The food that I ate tasted good, just like it used to. I ate some crap that didn't taste good at all. It didn't taste good before either.
Crap never
So,
tastes good.
I just didn't want it. It didn't taste good, so I didn't eat it. But it was the same mess I didn't like before. It didn't taste good before. For 5 days, I went through this, and I set up a little studio in here on a card table, believe it or not, so I could stay on the air.
Right.
And every day I was just giving, here's my report, I'm still alive, and temperature is yada, yada, yada. I'd do it throughout the whole 2
Yeah,
hours.
you were in the basement then.
Basement, I was basically secured, and we separated in the house, and my wife never got any signs of it or anything else. And then after a week, I said, you know what? I'm not that jazzed about the mass-produced test. My doctor at that time was in Wilmington. I called her. I said, Doc, I got tested and it says I got COVID. How do you feel? Great. She said, really? I said, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's running the gambit. Why don't you come on in and get tested and make sure Robbie comes in too? So we both went there and got tested. We weren't positive. She said, now, don't get me wrong. You have had it.
Right.
And you're going to get ready to get called by more people because they're going to want your blood because they're developing antibodies and they need your blood. You're recovering. You got good stuff in you. And she was right. Holy crap. I gave up a lot of blood, but I did so willingly. And they tried to give me gift cards. No, I don't want that. Just give me a cookie and orange juice.
I'll take the gift cards.
I didn't want them. I didn't take them. There are enough problems out there. So y'all just take that and go on. And then as soon as the first shot came up, I was second in line. Robbie was first.
Well, Rayford, I think now that, when it hit, everybody was just like, what to do.
Yeah.
The government didn't even know. It was just so much unknown about it.
And too many different stories.
Exactly right. But I believe over the years that enough people have had it. Enough people have had vaccinations against getting it. I think it's helped build up a fight against COVID. So COVID is not like it used to be, but it still can be an issue with some people.
It can be.
So,
I said at the time, and I made it perfectly clear, we knew that it was coming before it was announced because we have people in those countries on the ground in their basements listening to their phone calls. We've got people. This mess started there. We knew it then. We just did not take the precautions then that we should have taken. We should have isolated this country. I'm sorry, there will be no international travel. Nobody's coming into this country. You want to go out, you can't come back. You'll be isolated for 2 weeks, but you can't come back until then. That would be the way. And yes, the president at that time would have been run out of town on a rail because he was in hot water already. But that would have put a damper on this stuff spreading like it did. Because once it hit our boundaries here, it came over an airplane. You know that.
Well, you bring up a good point. Wasn't our first case of monkeypox
Same thing.
derived from somebody visiting our United States from another country?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where do you think AIDS came from? How do you think it got into this country? Same way.
Mhm.
We just did not jump on the problem fast enough.
I don't think we'll ever truly know all the facts.
We won't because it's all sealed. I mean, we don't even know what happened to Kennedy yet.
I was just going to say that.
I'm glad you brought that up
Just
before.
going to say that.
I don't know what happened to Lincoln.
I can wait till after the weather, or I can do it ahead of time.
Epstein. We don't know what happened with him.
Okay, you both have opened it up for me.
He's dead.
So you want me to wait till after weather? Or you want me to start now?
Go, let me finish a little bit here.
Okay.
I'm going to give
All
you
right.
guys something from NCIS here. Parents, I want you make sure you pay attention to what NCIS is doing. Now, I'm going to copy this thing and post it as soon as we get off the air on our Facebook page, all right? Because it's kind of lengthy. Here's some things you need to discuss with your kid, and these are red flags. They're calling them red flags for a reason. Someone's flattering your child. Someone's sending your child gifts, like cell phones or money. Now, this could actually be a relative or a distant relative, or the uncle that is not really an uncle. You understand me where I'm coming from? If someone's discussing adult subjects like sex with your child, excuse me, baseball bat time, asking the child, don't tell your mama, keep secrets. This is okay. You're growing up. You're doing fine. And don't tell anybody that you and I are talking. Turning the child against her family and friends. They want the kid to depend on them. They want to be the friend that the parents will not be. Parents, do not be a friend. Be a parent. And take care of these people who are out there trying to deal with your child. Sharing or asking for revealing images from the child. It may be something as, oh, you got some pictures of you in that bikini at the beach. Oh yeah, please, that's cool. Oh, you're looking so good. Blackmailing the kid. If the child shares revealing images or secrets with anyone, they may threaten to make them public unless the child sends more content or money or agrees to meet. Paying the money, sending additional content rarely stops the blackmailing.
Mhm.
It ain't going to stop.
Nope.
They got a
Never.
honeypot going here, all right? That's what it's all
Never.
about. The blackmailer could continue to ask for more, likely will. Most times, payment of money or additional content does not ensure that the images or videos won't be spread online. No, they're still for sale. They will be for sale forever. You might not see them right away because they might be peddled underground into one of those black markets in Europe or Asia. Okay. The blackmailer cannot be trusted. Trust me. No. Cannot be trusted. Instead, the child should tell an adult immediately they trust and or report it to the NCMEC. I'll get into that on Facebook immediately so they can help report it to law enforcement. Notify the cops. Ask the cops, even if you're the kid, if you can get to the police station, if you can call the police station. You've all got cell phones. You can do it at some point in time. If you don't want to talk to your mom and dad about it right away, talk to the cop. They've got a unit. They're dedicated to doing nothing but this kind of stuff. And trust me, they are good at what they do. They're out there all the time. They're looking at keywords. They're checking all the time. Now you've got NCIS involved. I'm sorry. Y'all going to have a problem. And that's a federal crime. And they will take you to the mat for it. They will do that. Child receives gifts through the mail, such as cell phones, gift cards, and webcams. Be careful. Calling unknown numbers. Who's this? Write down that number and you look it up and you do a background on it. Child is rejecting family and friends in favor of spending time online. Oh, you can't eat dinner tonight? Okay, well, you can just eat there and you can stay on the computer. I know you're doing your homework. I know you don't. No, you're not. They're not doing their homework. Child is getting upset when he or she cannot get online. Wait a minute. The internet's down? Did you shut the internet off? Uh-huh. I can't get online. Well, that's too bad. Then explain why. Child minimizes the screen immediately. Okay. Let's see. Chris walks into the room and he sees my computer over here, and now suddenly I just hit minimize. Or turn it off. Oh, here's a picture of an eel over here. That's not bad. That's cool, right? Yeah. No. Parents, get involved. Be suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do not just leave this kid alone and falling into the hands of the wolves. Now, first of all, and those pictures, they may be more embarrassing to the kid than they are in real life. Okay. In reality, kid does not want other friends seeing this here, there, and everywhere. It may be half innocent, but it's not. It's not at all. And the kids can suffer. And we have kids that are committing suicide in elementary school across this country. I had the numbers the other day again that I read, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands of children die every year of their own hands. Some of them because they've been bullied, some of them because they've been blackmailed, some of them because pictures like this are out there and they can't deal with it. That's my 2 cents worth. Now let's go to Epstein, the other piece of crap. Well, I've used crap a lot today, haven't I?
Sword of the day.
A lot of it.
I've had to be nice, so I'm having to use crap.
We need a new word of the day every day. Today's crap.
Today is one.
So I'm going to be very interested in what the national media comes up with tonight. And the reason I say that is this. Almost every lead story, national news at 6:30, Epstein this, Epstein that, Epstein. Okay, well, now House is out. So, and of course, they were blaming Mike Johnson for letting the House out so that the Democrats can't do anything to get more information about Epstein and wedding pictures from Trump back in 93. They brought out they opened up the files on Martin Luther King Jr.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of those files years ago in the Hoover days.
Yeah.
You know why
his kids do not want those files opened up
No.
for good reason.
Do you know why I think he's opening up those? Is to take the heat off the administration for the Epstein files. Mike Johnson yesterday canceled the rest of the day of Congress and told everybody to go home because he didn't want to have to deal with the vote being put forth to open up the Epstein files. So he said, no, we're done for the day.
Well, they're done until I guess they come back in sometime in August.
They're waiting for it all to calm down.
It's how okay. Everybody remembers JFK and Marilyn Monroe.
Yep.
And that was how many years ago?
1963.
63. And his involvement with assorted criminals element.
He was. His daddy was, especially. His daddy was way up there.
Yeah. Oh. It's just, I just cannot understand. And someone, please give us a call and tell us why you think people are so intrigued with this Epstein guy. He is dead. He was garbage. What he did, and the list that he had of people.
We don't know what kind of list he had.
We've heard names.
We've heard a lot of names, and a lawyer put it out yesterday. Dershowitz, or day before yesterday, he revealed a few of those names, and then it turns out that the people that they were getting these names from were the investigators were getting these names from. Well, they came forward, they came back and said, that didn't really happen like that, but that's kind of like the way that I remember things. I don't know whether they're telling the truth or whether they just don't want to be involved anymore. Well, I don't know how involved the kids were. Now, these were young, I don't want to call them adults, but they were young adults. They were teenagers and generally over the age of 14.
They had the one girl came out and said it was back in, she was in a room and Epstein's told Trump, no, she's not for you. And all this, it's.
Well, do you think Ghislaine, Maxwell, the woman, do you think she's going to end up actually testifying before the House?
If she lives.
If
she can get a good deal.
That's a good point, yeah.
Are
you going to believe everything she says anyway?
She's going to say everything she can say to get herself out of jail.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all there is to it. She's still young enough to have a viable life. When she gets through with what she's sentenced to do, and it's federal time, she ain't going to be a wrinkled old hag.
Well, she's a convicted sex offender now, so there you go.
Other things I think that our country and our mainstream media could be talking about other than this guy that's dead and who went to his island.
Because people have a natural tendency for gossip, and that's what the whole thing is about. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know.
Go to your local grocery store and pick up the National Enquirer.
They don't even have those anymore, do they?
They got versions of them. Something's out there that talks about three-headed kids with monkey bodies and stuff.
And the UFOs, and be sure you wear your Reynolds wrap hats.
Oh, do you remember those days?
Yeah.
I remember when they used to have pictures of like like you said, a carny worker. They had two heads or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always, and people just like scoop those up. Like, look at this.
Well, I mean, you're standing in line, you got nothing else to do, but now you check yourself out, so you got no reason.
Since you've opened this up, I'm just going to read you some of my thoughts here, then we're going to do weather, then we're going to give it to you, let you finish up, because I'm tired.
Okay.
You're tired?
I'm tired. I'm freezing to death. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it is a little chilly.
Don't we have really enough to deal with out there? Like, we got 18 million illegal migrants inside this country. Y'all, I'm going to give you some numbers here that are probably going to shock you. because you haven't heard the real facts. 18 million illegal migrants inside this country. Untold numbers of those are violent criminals, both in their home countries, and they've been continuing their mayhem ever since they've been in the United States. We have Tehran now boldly claiming they will continue developing nuclear material, hinting that it will be used to build a weapon of war, a bomb. We still have the pimple in North Korea in cahoots with Russia's Vladimir Putin, not to mention the seemingly never-ending but expanding war between Israel and terrorists occupying Gaza. Doesn't Donald Trump have enough to keep him busy for the next 3.5 years? I would think so. Yes, he's still ticked off with the Russia Gate crap. This is bugging me. We got enough for him to do. He didn't do it the first time around. He's got a second chance, but he's only got 3.5 years to get her done. There are false claims in Russiagate. They were false. False claims made in an effort to send Hillary to the White House in 2016. I think that's a given. That's 9 years worth of water under the bridge, Donnie. Trump is now promising his theory, apparently developed after whatever investigation that has been going on, that Barack Obama was a ringleader in the Russiagate charade. Obama, in a rare public reaction this week, this is unusual for a non-sitting president other than Trump, to come out and criticize the sitting president publicly. He responded that what he called the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of the White House. The former president, in a prepared statement, said the bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document that was issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia, yes, worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. That's the part that they keep forgetting to tell us. No votes were successfully manipulated. Not much punch in that statement, by the way. That was just to me. But it was well delivered.
Right.
Trump needs to devote his attention to the problems we, the people, are facing right now. President Trump needs to devote his attention to our problem now. If he wants to go after Obama, Biden, Hillary, or the Pope, he should do it on his own time in 3.5 years when he's out of office. I encourage Trump to do whatever he wants to do to get even. If that's his goal, fine. Not on my dime. If he can show that he was wronged, he should do that after 3.5 years go by. As one of 330 million legal Americans in this country, I would like to spend the rest of my time in comfort, safe, and without fear of attacks by illegals who have already invaded us, or by the growing number of foreign enemies we're making matter with each passing day. Terrorists, we're going to blow you up. It's reaching a point that I am not sure I feel safe enough to even visit my favorite dive destination anymore, because I've got to fly 2,000 miles to get there. I just, why have you got me feeling like this? Why? Marine forecasts heading for the highs seas today. If you're going to go out there for some fishing fun, or just riding the ocean, you can expect easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. It's July. Be prepared for showers and thunder boomers. No guarantees whether we will have them or whether we will not. I'm not going to give you a percentage because I don't know, and they don't either. Southerly winds on Thursday around 10 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, 8 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers a light chop. And on Friday, westerly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 3 every 5 seconds. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop.
And today will be partly sunny with a high near 89, a slight chance of afternoon showers and or thunderstorms. East wind 6 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 23. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and or thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 73. Thursday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 88. And Friday, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, sunny with a high near 95.
Before we take this call, let me add one thing I think would help is when the president, I'm not going to say just Trump, any president
Yeah.
is going from the White House to the helicopter or on Air Force One or something. Don't let the media just go up there and start asking stupid questions. I'm sorry, that's
Yes.
they're not asking questions about the things that you just keyed on.
Yes. The things that are important to you and me in this country, they don't have to concern themselves with it. I'm talking about the brass.
Right.
And the media, they're so oblivious to the needs and the wants of us, they don't care.
And the questions that they're asking, I'm sorry, don't have anything to do with the policies we need to be worrying about right now.
It's been a while since I was in television news, of course. It's been quite a while. Not long enough, but it's been a while. But we used to do, they gave me $30,000 a year to do a survey. And I did a survey. I paid for it. What do you think the number one topic for people in this region are concerned about and they want to know about on the evening news? The number one topic every day.
Weather.
Severe weather.
Right.
Bingo. What's the number two?
Local crime.
Crime in general. Security.
Okay.
How safe am I in my home? How safe am I in shopping? How safe? My safety is the number two most important thing to the majority of the people on these surveys. This wasn't just 1 year. This was year after year after year after year. And actually was number three, I think, prior to 9/11.
Yeah.
And 9/11 made it number two. Actually, it was number one right after 9/11 for the first year or two. But and severe weather moved back in. But that was what people are concerned about. You know where entertainment news or newscast figures in?
Oh, it was only top 10.
No,
Probably 11.
but number 30 something out of
Yeah.
40. We don't care about entertainment news during a 6 o'clock newscast, and that's all I was concerned about is what's going on in the news.
Yeah.
That we have to deliver to the people. We had 30 minutes to tell people what was going on, and that's all the time we had for that time. Security was leading the pack right behind severe weather. If there was no severe weather in mind, then it was, how safe am I? I still want to know, how safe am I?
But
Are you seeing that? Do you see that being developed as any part of any story in any newscast these days? If it is, how far down the list is it?
usually around
After it bleeds.
6:47,
There you go.
6:48. Yeah.
Local news, same way.
After the first 15 minutes.
It's not this that we want to know about crime, but I do want to know about this officer-involved killing over in Kinston. Why? I mean, that's a big story.
Right.
Anytime an officer has to use his gun, that's a big story. And yes, we need to know about it.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
And we need to know what kind of low-life scums that are out there. We've got people that have been arrested around here for murder, people that have been arrested before for it. And the sheriff was in here this week. We talked about the frequent flyers. Hello, all the jailers. He puts people who want to be deputy sheriffs in jail first.
Yeah.
Let them spend a year there working inside the detention center. Why? One, they get to know the bad guys that are on the street because they're all in here at one time or another. You'll be able to recognize them when you're on the street. Hey,
Right.
Bubba Joe, come here.
Yeah.
You're on probation still, right? Yep. Empty your pockets. I mean, you got to know thy enemy.
Agree.
Know your friends.
I do want to bring up something real quick. The
Keep
city
your guns-
manager.
keep your guns well oiled.
Yeah, city manager, when he was in here yesterday, Josh Ray,
Mhm.
and he was talking about that video that was all over social media of
Beautiful.
where the JPD had stopped an individual and they were trying to handcuff him, and a female police officer got knocked down,
Mhm.
and out of nowhere comes this ninja and did this high kick
Oh, did he?
and knocked the bad guy, the perp, right to the ground. I was like, it was
In New York,
awesome.
that guy would have been arrested and charged with an offense.
Oh, sure he would have, but that tickled me though when I saw that ninja just come out of nowhere, and he got involved. he
Yeah.
got involved. And, I mean,
Just be prepared.
Thank you.
If you're 80 years old and you're walking with a cane, unless that cane has got like my cane over here, it's a special cane. You don't want to get involved when you get of an age because you're not able to take care of yourself, much
Right.
like other people.
and
Be careful out there.
speaking of our city manager, last night I put on our Facebook page the link to watch the city council meeting,
Mhm.
which was very, very interesting. And once they got done with business, they went and they showed the video that was taken while they were where did they go?
Denver.
Denver,
Denver, yeah.
Colorado,
Denver.
and presented,
I want to watch that.
Jacksonville's presented their presentation saying why Jacksonville should be named an all-American city. And I will tell you, it was exceptional. The video was so good. The people involved, I like the t-shirts where
Yeah.
they each wore a different saying on their t-shirt, like future educator or fisherman or, kayaker. It was a great presentation.
Now, just 2 seconds worth of commentary.
Yes.
For all of you folks who are living in the state, who have moved here from other places, we welcome you. Thank you. And so many of you, I have met so many. Most of the hams that were out here, they're not from here originally. They just stayed here when they came here in the Marine
Right.
Corps, some in the Navy. But, they stayed because they like it here. They like it here. They like North Carolina. You read these negative comments. We've got 1 or 2 callers. Oh, I hate it here. God, North Carolina, it stinks. Jacksonville stinks. It's
Leave.
awful. That
Yeah.
highway runs north, y'all, just like it did when we brought you here
Right.
south. So you can get on it. It's okay. There are 10 awards given
In the country.
In the,
in
across
the
the
entire
nation, yeah.
50 states.
Mhm.
North Carolina, 3 cities in North
3.
Carolina took those awards. We took 30% of them. The state of North Carolina
Yes.
took 30% of the awards available for 50 states.
That's right.
Up yours.
You go, Robert.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Here's the word of the day. You talk that crap. You go.
Is it your turn now?
I don't know. I can't top that one. Up yours.
No, I will say that, Chris, you watched it too.
Yes, I did.
And did it not bring a tear to your eye? I
Yes,
was
it
so
did.
proud.
And it was so well when the lady that was running it from Denver said, "All right, Jacksonville, you ready?"
Oh, yes.
Those young people, they
Yes.
jumped right.
You don't gotta ask us twice.
When they got done, they got an ovation. too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it
Step
was
aside.
the details that were put into the presentation were top notch. All the people that were involved in it, I was glad to see so many youth be a part of it and were able to be there.
Mhm.
And it was really good. Well done. Well done.
One of the best parts I liked when Mayor Sammy Phillips was standing at the beginning,
yes. At the
and they
New River.
faded him from color, because Rayford, I know you'll love it,
Oh, God.
to black and white.
Yeah.
That was
And then
cool.
Charles Eford came in with the story about fishing
Yes.
and playing there along the New River, and then boom,
It was
go.
good.
Yeah,
it was good.
was.
It was very, very good.
Now I got those chill bumps. Must be this chair.
Yeah, I like a lot of black and white,
Just
mixed
turn
in
it off
black
now.
and white. And
Okay.
when we had Catherine in here the first time about a month
Yes,
ago
yes.
before the
Those were
pageant,
good.
and I shot some pictures in here, but one of them I made it black and white because it was just, it needed to be black and
Yeah.
white. Sometimes black and white is really loud when it speaks.
I'll tell you.
So I like a lot of black and white. One of my favorite photographers ever, a landscape guy. He did a lot of stuff in the Yosemite.
You talking about John Outhouse?
Oh, no.
You talking locally?
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
I was thinking local as well.
I was thinking Nelson Calhoun or John Outhouse. Oh,
Wait, Yosemite?
Yosemite. Mm.
Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try. Good. I have no clue.
I'll give it to you. I'm going to show you a couple of his pictures though when I give it to you. I'm see if you recognize them in just a minute. Okay. What you got? Anything?
Oh, I do. Oh, you go ahead.
No.
No.
I just, again, on our webpage, Lee's going to have the information if you'd like to donate to Jacobs.
Yes.
Yes, Jacob Smith.
Jacob Smith, the young man who was
Yes.
horribly accidentally killed yesterday. Our prayers are with his family, and we'll have that information on there. Lee.
Right. I just want to bring up the recent rash of children being murdered by their parents. You know, we had a young girl from Canada that was recently murdered by her father, 9 years old. Her name was Melina Fratelline. She was found dead in upstate New York on
Yes.
July 20th after her father, Luciano Fratelline, reported her abducted the previous night. Officials alleged that Luciano murdered his daughter after the pair, who live in Montreal, traveled to the United States for a vacation this month. He's been charged with second-degree murder and concealment of a human corpse and is being held at the Corrections Facility Center pending an arraignment scheduled for, it was supposed to be this past Monday. They plan to return on July 20th to Canada, where Melina lived full-time with her mother. At around 5:30 p.m. local time on July 19th, officials said that Luciano and Melina were seen on video in surveillance in Saratoga Springs, New York. About 6:30 p.m., the girl spoke to her mother on the phone and told her that she and her father were en route back to Canada. And sometime after Melina spoke to her mother on the phone, her father then murdered her. And, you know, and it just brings to mind, they're still looking right now for Travis Decker out of Washington State that had visitation with his three daughters, Olivia 5, Peyton 9, and Evelyn 8. And during that visitation, he was late taking them back, but before he took them back, he murdered all three. And they're still looking for him. What is with this sudden?
They're sick, and mean.
But what, your own children? How? Why?
There are a couple of photographs I was talking about.
Yeah,
Young man.
those are beautiful.
Ansel Adams.
Okay.
I just looked him up. Yep.
Okay. He's the most famous photographer in the world as far as I was concerned.
And Carlton Watkins are the two most renowned photographers who have captured. But I don't know anything about them. But but right, you said Ansel Adams is perhaps the most famous photographer
He is.
associated.
Go back to your subject
Yes.
on the lady in South Carolina. Was it South Carolina drove her children?
Susan Smith.
Susan
That little
Smith,
bitch.
yeah.
That crazy woman. It just seems like lately there's just so much of it.
You know,
Yeah.
when she was appearing on TV, she went up to New York and got on there. Somebody needs to help me. I've lost my kids. I don't know where they are. Yada, yada, yada,
Yeah,
yada.
well, yeah, you know.
You know,
her.
every cop that I've talked to who watched that was
Mhm.
watching it at that time. Why haven't you handcuffed her?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing in South Carolina that you did not break her? And, you know, as soon as I said, where's the nearest body of water? Well, guess what they did? They found tire tracks going down into a lake. There she was. There the kids were in the car. Right where she left them.
I just can't imagine. I mean, I really
I just don't get
I don't know
it.
what's going through
That
people's
is a death
minds.
penalty case, if there's ever been one, and she should have been zapped.
This little girl spending time with her daddy on her way back home to her
What, she
mama.
9, was it, or something?
9 years of
Yeah.
age. 9 years of age.
you know.
She died of asphyxiation, and they
Yeah.
found her body underneath a log where her dad tried to hide it. But once again, cameras help solve that crime.
Yeah.
And
They
today's
didn't help prevent it.
yeah,
We need prevention cameras. We need cameras to be able to see the future.
yeah. And today is going to be
We need to invent one of those.
a little
Be a
bit
bitch.
of justice for the Idaho victims' families because
Yeah.
they get to address Brian Kohlberger directly at his sentencing hearing.
Smile for
So-
wait for the flash, Bubba.
I'm kind of, I don't know if I want to watch it or not.
I'm not going
It's
to watch
just-
it. That'll make me madder than mad.
Well, it's just sad. It breaks my heart for these families too.
I like my
but,
TV up there. It's too expensive.
you know, he's going to get sentenced today, even though we already know he's getting 3 consecutive life sentences, and he's getting 10 years for burglary.
Yeah.
And with which he gave up his right to appeal, but in the state of Idaho, it doesn't matter. You can give up your right to appeal, and then a year later you can put in an appeal that you don't think
Some
yet.
future legislature,
They need to change
all
it.
they got to do is have one more
Right.
than enough for a majority,
Mhm.
and they can vote to say no. Cruel and unusual punishment is life without the possibility of parole, and they can negate all of that. And they could, and some judge, some liberal
Everything.
leaning, and we got a few of them out there in the country. Have you read
Yeah.
about them? Some liberal leaning lunatic judge could say, "Okay, you've served enough time. Goodbye."
Very true. Very true. It's just.
You know what? If you're going to be
Horrendous.
stupid, do you want to do something stupid? Why not
Right.
go big? Why not go bigger than big? Why don't you just go large? Such was the case of the captain of a luxury 60-foot yacht last week. The details are just being made public. The incident, if you want to call it that, happened in San Diego last Friday in broad daylight
Mm-hmm.
with lots of witnesses with cameras.
Mm-hmm.
This very nice fishing boat, a 60-foot yacht that this guy was driving, as big as it was, decided to take on the aircraft carrier Midway. The captain of said pleasure craft struck the Midway. Then said captain thought it was wise to make haste. His hasty attempt to flee the scene ended quickly. Harbor police intercepted it near the San Diego Coronado Bridge. No one was hurt. The fishing vessel had only minor damage, amazingly enough, and was not at risk of sinking. Too bad. The Midway Memorial, it's a decommissioned aircraft carrier. We've read a lot about the Midway during World War II, right? Had a pretty big dip in her hull. To fully restore the hull will likely run about $100,000. An expensive day on the water for the captain. They haven't released his name yet. He faces boating while impaired.
Mhm.
Would have guessed on that one. Boating while impaired and fleeing the scene. It was a sunny afternoon in San Diego. No fog, no clouds, no rain. Going to be kind of hard to claim he couldn't see that aircraft carrier when he gets to court, right? He may as well just plead guilty and throw himself on the mercy of the court.
Did you watch the video?
I did.
I mean,
Multiple
how do you
times.
not see?
The aircraft carrier is 1,000 feet long.
I mean, we know the guy was drunk, but come on, there was other places he could have passed under the bridge.
Everywhere. He should have dropped an anchor up before he got there. Good God.
Well,
It was funny listening to the people that were videotaping, going like,
What the heck?
Go ahead, Chris. Nothing.
well, no, I was going to say, first off, congratulations to the Ospreys on a winning season
Yes.
of 23 and 15. But you go back to this, the pilot of the commercial airplane that had to make the evasive move for the B-52,
Yes.
but is getting the play-by-play to the people on the plane. Sorry about that sudden move. We've got a B-52 to the left.
Yeah, we just got to take a little detour. And, it wasn't that big a deal in reality.
No.
No.
Because it was under control, a little closer than it should have been.
Yeah,
But that's all.
yeah.
It's not anything that most pilots don't go through, kind of like a regular basis if you're flying very much in a crowded area. Good gosh.
I just the video audio or the audio actually of him giving the play-by-play to the
He was pretty cool.
it was.
But could you imagine being a passenger sitting there going like, what? What? What happened? If you looked out your window and saw a B-52 approaching, hey, no worries. We took care of it. What?
When I used to fly Air Jamaica from Atlanta to Jamaica,
Steve.
from Atlanta to Jamaica, we flew across Cuba. When I flew American Airlines, we flew around Cuba, but they had clearance to fly across Cuba.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay. And then you look to your left and you look to your right. There's a 1 MiG over here and a 1 MiG over here. They escorted us through across that little island nation.
Were you talking about having to put on the brakes yesterday? An Aeromexico plane nearly collided with a Delta Air lines playing while landing in Mexico City on Monday. The Delta had already landed and was doing like 60 miles an hour on the runway when an Air Mexico plane just and landed right in front of them.
How did it do it?
How to do that?
Yeah,
No,
like,
now it's a
no, it was more like.
Look at the sound
You know the
effects.
2 words that pilot said? Oh, crap.
Oh crap!
Okay.
So the 2 aircraft were just 200 feet apart. You know, we never hear
That's
stories about.
2/3 the length of a football field.
We never hear stories about anything until Kelly flies, and then all of a sudden
Everything
the stories.
happens.
Yeah, everything
They
happens.
know when she's flying. You know that, right?
Uh-huh.
She's in a blackout, though. They won't tell her anything about any airlines.
Anyway, the Delta Airlines was on a takeoff roll. I don't know if they said they were landed. They were on a takeoff roll when they observed another aircraft landing in front of them on the same runway.
Whoops.
Hit the brakes.
Oops.
Whoops. Hey, Steve. I hope you got something to talk to
Good Lord.
the mess that we're doing.
I got you. Yeah, I guess I was going to comment on some of the things you said this morning and rehash some stuff, I guess.
Okay.
I heard Chris talking about the whole Epstein thing again this morning.
Yeah.
And I fully understand that it's been politicized, and that kind of makes a lot of people, kind of turn off to it. The left, all they want to see is Republicans on the list. The far right, all they want to see is Democrats on the list.
Yep.
I don't really care about either one of those, particularly from a political standpoint, but I want to ask you this, Chris.
Yeah.
If we don't bust this ring up, what do you think the likelihood is that they're just going to find another Epstein and continue to molest children?
If busting this up would prevent it, I'm all for it, Steve. I mean, the whole thing is sickening.
Right.
When you
And-
mention ring, Steve, do you think there's a ring outside Epstein, or was he the ring leader?
I think he may have been the figurehead, the ring leader, but I seriously doubt with something of this magnitude that it wasn't an organizational type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I say, I've said before, with any criminal enterprise, there has to be a front. So, there was people who were probably involved. Maybe they didn't know exactly everything that was going on. I don't know. That would be speculation. But, I think it's reasonable to expect that if none of the people who were using these services are held accountable, they're just going to find a different place to get that service.
No, I think you're right.
And they probably already have at this point. And so if we don't pursue these people, then on some level we're condoning their behavior because we're letting them get away with it without trying to pursue them. We might not catch them, we might not get them,
Right.
but there's been 2 administrations that have, both one Democrat and one Republican, that have not tried to pursue these people, have not tried to bust up and shut down this child sex trafficking ring.
Right.
They all talk about it, but they ain't actually doing it. Why is there not being one person other than the 2 people at the top involved in this charged with anything? That don't make no sense. And, but that goes back to what I said. I don't really think either side wants us to know what happened, and I don't think they really want to go after the people involved in this, and that troubles me considerably.
Steve, I totally agree with you on this. We've heard 2 presidents' names that we both know that have been associated with it. Now,
Well, I want to say one thing. I mean, I think that this has been investigated. It continues to be investigated, and that the investigation has nothing to do with making the list public. I believe they're still investigating. They will continue to investigate it, and they'll do what they need to do where they need to do it, and arrest those who need to be arrested. But I think this whole thing about making the list public has nothing to do with the investigation. It's just people wanting to know.
And I would agree with you on that, but we can't ignore the fact that Republicans made this a major campaign issue.
I agree.
true.
I agree.
And so and that being said, they were all on board for releasing this just a couple of months ago. They were still pushing that this was coming out, but something happened. that made them do it a 180-degree turn. Now, Dick Durbin has come out in an interview and said that the administration put 1,000 FBI agents going through the Epstein files trying to find anywhere Donald Trump's name appeared. Shortly after that, they did a 180-degree turn, and something made them say they could not release anything that, to the point they were even saying there weren't no files. So something happened over the last few weeks that made them turn on their heels. That should raise a red flag that, like I say, it has all the earmarks of a cover-up.
I'm going to throw this out hypothetically. So we're going to say hypothetically tomorrow the list comes out. Hypothetically.
It won't happen.
It won't happen, but hypothetically it comes out. And
You're not going to ask me why it won't come out.
Okay, why won't it come
I
out?
thought you would ask me by now.
Why will it not come out?
Think about this. Law enforcement officers lie to you every day because they don't want you to have the information that they have. Somebody, for whatever reason, in the very beginning, and that included Bondi, said, oh, yeah, we got this list, yada, 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 yada. We will be releasing it. Number one, that should never have been said, whether you have the list or not. You don't tell your enemy what you have. That would be stupid. And then if that was the case and they weren't stupid and they did have a list, now everybody wants to release the list. Well, that would screw up an investigation like you've never seen before. That would be done, over. It would never get anywhere. Nothing but cover this, cover that. The enemy would know what you got, and you would be one and done. If there is a list, and they do not, and did she say that, there's nobody going to be investigating this anymore? Yeah. Did she lie? I would. Jesus, that's not a problem. I don't have anything on you. You're fine. You're good to go home. Oh, good God. How many times you ever said that? I mean, I have. You haven't because you didn't need to. But you're good to go home. We'll talk to you later if we need to. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest now?
Okay. Well, okay. So
Hey,
then I'm going to the hypothetical.
Came out tomorrow. Yeah, hypothetical. By the way.
Let's go out tomorrow. Hypothetically, tomorrow it comes out on whatever net. I don't care. Pick a network. NBC. The list is out. Here's the names on there in alphabetical order, and of course, and we'll say Trump's on there. What's going to happen to him?
I don't really know, and honestly, I think that the list itself is a little trivial to be thinking about. I'm sure Epstein and Maxwell were not convicted over a list of names.
Oh no,
absolutely not.
That goes back to what I'm saying: is there's evidence that shows them running a child sex trafficking ring, and so if they've got evidence to prove they were involved, there should be evidence that other people were involved, especially when it spans a decade. So I don't know, that there's, like I say, if there's a list, I don't know that I would trust that list. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who wrote it. But if we have, hours and hours of video that is in evidence, then to be sure, there's at least one other person they could have charged in this ring.
Good point.
Yeah.
If you've got a real honest to goodness ring, and I assume you're talking about a ring of clients, is that what you're referring to when you say a ring?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So if you got
a ring is suppliers and consumers.
Okay. Let's just say first of all, you definitely want to go after those who are at the top of the list, not that list, but at the top of the list that are making money off all this stuff, right? You want to go after those first, so that way you can trickle down and grab all the users, so to speak. That's standard operating procedure. But if they got a list and they find that you got Bubba Joe Marks on it somewhere down the line, and Bubba Joe, he took a flight one time. Well, is he involved? Well, we can make him involved. We got this list. I mean, if I'm a cop, I can make him involved, or at least scare him into thinking he's going to be involved. And then you know what he's going to do? He's going to give up anything and everything that he knows. You go after the weak person, and then the one with the most to lose. Mm-hmm. Trump doesn't have anything to lose. Okay, nothing, because that'll be tied up before he'll be dead before this. If he was indicted immediately, he'd be old and gone before this thing had ever come to fruition.
Yeah.
So
that's the reason why. I was going to say, I'm not so much on the, let's get Trump trained as I am, let's expose this child sex trafficking ring.
Well, it's not, it's
If
not
he's
just
in it,
one.
not in it, I don't really care. I just, I don't want them to be able to continue doing what they've done.
If you think Jeffrey Epstein was the only person out there leading this kind of a group, how many groups do you think there are?
I was going to say, he's not the only person running a child sex trafficking ring. That wasn't the only one.
Yeah, go out there and go out there and see who hobnobs with the elite, the so-called elite in Hollywood.
If those people were rich, then they can just go to the next supplier.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what bothers me is that it did not the heinous act did not die with Jeffrey Epstein.
Nope.
Yeah, and so that's what kind of bothers me about that.
Now, here's the other problem that they have. The victims in this case are, they were juveniles, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've got a future ahead of them. Do you think they want to be painted with this brush? I mean, they ain't Stormy Daniels, little girls, young women. They're not Stormy Daniels. I don't care about Stormy Daniels. She was, she's bought and paid for decades ago. So, but what about these innocent girls? They got so much to lose. How do you sit down and talk to them and say, I've got a husband now, I've got a family, I've got 3 kids, and you want me to do what? You want me to come forward and tell everybody what I've done? I'm the head of the PTA. Come on.
Well, they've had one already that has done this. That came out just this week, I think.
They've had 2 to recant everything that they said.
But this one, the one I've read just recently was the one in New York, I believe. I think she was in New York, and the grand jury had opened the files, and she was talking about taking her sister there, and Giselle, however her name is pronounced, was doing things to it. Yeah, okay, that's a good one.
Hey,
okay. But she's talking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say that. And I'm with Steve. Okay, I'm not going to use names anymore as far as who's involved with it, but who else was involved in this specific horrible island crap?
Yeah. Well, Rayford, you're LEO, a former LEO. Do you believe that they're still investigating it?
I believe that there's going to be a group out there that the back doors, and you're not going to know who they are or when it's going to come out. And if there is something there, if there's enough there that they can convince, see, they're going to have to convince their bosses, who are going to have to convince and take it then, an attorney inside that organization, it should be the FBI, will have to then take it before an attorney, prosecuting attorney,
Right.
U.S. attorney, and that will end up in D.C., of course, and then that's going to end up in front of a grand jury. Will it happen? I don't know. I just don't know whether they've got the gumption. I don't know how much political BS is so far right now been brought out that is covering up evidence, tainting everything. I don't know. I wish Trump, I wish everybody would, on the political side, I don't care about the law enforcement side. They're going to only tell us what they want us to know, and then they're going to lie to us as they should. Our politicians cannot lie to us. They better not. Now, the other people can and they should. Yeah. Sorry, that's the way I feel.
That's crap.
Well, and like I already said, in order for them to convict Maxwell and Epstein, it takes, they had to prove that they did. They had the goods. They had to prove that they did that.
Yep.
And the only way you can prove they did that was by showing the children and the customers, that they put them 2 together and that they profited from that. And so, I mean, how they don't have, after years now, a single person other than them 2.
Well,
I mean, how did they convict them if they didn't have the Johns, evidence of the Johns?
Well, Prince Charles settled out of, I don't want to say out of court. He was never legally charged, but he settled to have it go away.
Which is, how you can't make a criminal case go away.
No.
I don't know
No,
how
I
much money you got
And,
if they're bound in a truck.
and that just because, like I said before, just because somebody was associated or in some way or went to the island or, I don't know what the island consisted of, if they had a legitimate, aspect to it. I don't know what his legitimate front was.
And never invited me. I don't know
but-
either.
But he definitely, had something that had enticed these people to come to these parties. I've actually gone back and listened to some interviews. There was one rapper from 2 Live Crew who went to Mar-a-Lago to one of Epstein's parties. And the interview was from 10 years ago. So it was before Trump ever ran for office. But he said that he went to one of them and he had to wind up leaving because he wouldn't elaborate on what it was. It was kind of a vague interview, but he said they were doing all kinds of things that he didn't agree with and that the girls did not seem to be over 18.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was the interview given, like I say, 10 years ago. You can pull it up if you're interested in hearing it. But
And I'm sure he was under oath and telling the truth.
and like I say, it take it with a grain of salt, but it was something that was before the politics, and he didn't try to be specific on anything. He just said that he never done drugs, and he didn't say they were. He said, but he kept saying that he'd never done them and stuff like that. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that they were other people involved in this, and some of them may have known what's going on, some of them may not. But I mean, if you were an associate of the Unabomber, it don't matter if you ever engaged in any of the activities he did. People are going to want to look at you. People want to investigate you. And so, I mean, just because there may be people who were on some list somewhere and they're not actually, culpable in this, then, that's, you don't want to make those people unfairly look bad. But then again, you can't excuse the ones who were involved in order to do that, and I don't personally have a fetish to know who these people were until they're convicted. If somebody famous gets convicted and that was why, that's when I want to see it. But,
Good point.
like I say, man, the part that stinks to me is that as soon as the Republicans want to release the file, the Democrats are quiet. And as soon as the Republicans turned their heels and they didn't want to release it, now the Democrats are clamoring for it.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they keep playing us against, both sides against the middle, where neither one of them really wants to see it, but they try to use it politically when it's to their advantage.
I'm afraid this list is about as accurate as the magic bullet was in 1963.
Mhm.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm not so much into the list as I am the 3 terabytes of evidence that they have in the file.
Evidence is different than this list. I don't know who made the
That's
list
what
or
I'm
when
saying.
it was made.
They didn't convict them on a list. They convicted them on a
Correct.
mountain of evidence.
So let's see the
point.
evidence.
Yep.
So if they've been convicted, we've got evidence that they've introduced, right?
Mhm.
Correct.
It's public.
And well, it ain't public. that's the problem.
That's
It's
the
only
problem,
they've only thing that's in the record has been sealed, and that was grand jury testimony.
Mhm.
And even that was limited to Maxwell and Epstein's involvement.
So they pleaded
It
guilty,
didn't.
right?
It didn't go towards the customers.
So they had no trial. Correct?
They had a trial,
Uh-huh. So they introduced
But-
evidence.
and they
Forget
but it was
about
grand jury testimony about the evidence, and it was selective as to just go after 2 people.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why everybody was clamoring for the whole file to be released. It was because the whole file tells the whole story
Mhm.
as far as they know it. The grand jury testimony is just going to tell you the cherry pick moments that they used to try and convict these people
You
on
know,
sex trafficking. Right?
I'll tell you what, Steve, my hope is this. It doesn't take as long as it did for JFK, for MLK, for this thing to get out.
No.
Put it to bed.
Yep. We got to do something. Okay. I got to go to Wilmington.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all have a
All right,
blessed day.
Have a blessed
thanks.
day, Steve. Thanks for calling.
Okie dokie. Tomorrow,
It's a surprise.
we've had an American.
Oh.
We've had an American who's been killed, executed in Syria, along
Really?
with his family.
Oh my gosh.
And we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more tomorrow.
Okay.
I sent you a story on a naval ship that was being threatened by an Iranian helicopter this morning. You'll have
How
to
did that
read
work
that.
out?
Yeah. Well, from what I read, the naval ship was where it's not supposed to be, but tensions are rising.
Let
train
me see. The
Iran
naval
and-
ship is probably many times bigger than the
Yeah,
helicopter.
I would think so.
Uh-huh. Again,
Yeah.
But this is what needs to be covered in the news.
we need to know this stuff.
No, we're too busy
We
wanting to know.
I want to know about this American who was executed. I want to know more about it. You, after I finish my comments, are going to want to know more about it, given your current situation in traveling overseas.
Don't.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to.
Words of warning, y'all.
Okay.
Have fun for the rest of your day. I got to take a drive down to Wilmington, so I guess we got tornadoes
Yeah,
coming.
we'll
this
have
afternoon.
tornadoes this afternoon.
Have a blessed day.
You're live in local Wheel Talk. No tornadoes today. Not here anyway. They're going to be somewhere else. So anywhere else. Be okay. At sea in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Okay, that works.
How about Siberia? No, they got some good people in
Yeah.
Siberia.
Let's just
now.
have a nice, peaceful, calm day.
All right. We will. We'll see you in the morning.
Take care.
Bye. Be safe.